Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I haven't posted a video for a very long time, so I hope you will bear with me, because in this video I want to show you some evidence that today's climate change is not driven by humans, but it's part of the natural cyclical process, and it has happened before and it's happening right now. So I want to show you a few events in the past that resemble what's happening today. So bear with me, as you know, English is not my first language and I will make many mistakes, but I hope with time I will get better and I will make more videos like this. So let's start. In this thread on X, I want to emphasize my opinion that the 12,000 years ago climate change was not caused by meteor grazing the atmosphere, but it was caused by a geomagnetic excursion. And we will see the evidence for that. But first, let's go 42,000 years ago, during the Lachamp geomagnetic excursion, which caused a sudden climate change, global cooling, and mass extinction event in which the Neanderthals perished and humans barely survived. In 2021, scientists have presented a peer-reviewed study in which they show evidence of dramatic spike in radiation caused by the weakening of Earth's magnetic field, and this event is known as the Lachamp geomagnetic excursion. So 42,000 years ago, there was a geomagnetic excursion, climate change, and mass extinction event. Fast forward 26,000 years ago, during when the last glacial maximum began, there was also a geomagnetic excursion known as the Lake Mungo geomagnetic excursion, also rapid cooling, mass extinction event, harsh condition for life, and a geomagnetic excursion. Now back to the 12,000 years ago period known as the Younger Dryas. We have the Gothenburg geomagnetic excursion, which overlaps with this period. Here we can see that the range of the geomagnetic excursion is between 40,000 and 12,000 years ago. In the Younger Dryas period was between 30,000 and 11,000 years. So just from this, you can see that it triggered the Younger Dryas period. And so what happened during the Younger Dryas? According to the scientists, there was a short global warming period, just like today, which then suddenly flip-flopped and caused global cooling in the northern hemisphere. Now, just a second. Just a second. Yes, so here the scientists assume that during the Younger Dryas, what caused the global cooling period was the collapse or the total shutdown of the ocean currents. And what's happening today in 2024 and 2025, scientists have detected that the ocean currents are slowing down and possibly going to collapse in the next 30 or 50 years. Now this is an interesting video for 2020 in which Trump says it will get cool again. Just watch.
But I think one area of mutual agreement and priority is vegetation management. But I think we want to work with you to really recognize the changing climate and what it means to our forests. and actually work together with that science. That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay, it'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Well, I don't think science knows, actually.
So this was in 2020, and during this time there was no rumors or no evidence for the ocean currents slowing down or collapsing, but in 2024 and 2025 scientists started talking about ocean current collapse. And if the ocean currents collapse, the northern hemisphere will get cool again, just like during the Younger Dryas. And I think Trump was indicating that he knows about this cyclical event. This is another interesting video in which Dr. John L. Casey, former space program consultant, National Space Policy Advisor to the White House and Congress, NASA headquarter consultant, and space shuttle engineer, is talking about the coming cooling event, which also coincides with expected grand solar minima between 2030 and 2040. But I went too far from the theme. Let's get back to the geomagnetic excursions. So here we have the Lachamp event 42,000 years ago, the Lake Mungo event 26,000 years ago, the Younger Dryas and the Gothenburg geomagnetic excursion 12,000 years ago, and now let's go back 6,000 years ago during the desertification of Sahara, when Sahara became suddenly a desert, from a lush green area to a desert. And this period is during this period there was also a geomagnetic excursion known as the Solovki geomagnetic excursion, with evidence from China as well that 6,000 years ago there was a global event or a global geomagnetic excursion. So during this time, when Sahara became a desert, there is another study showing an X chromosome bottleneck, when out of 20 male lineages, 19 went extinct. So this shows a global extinction event, which 6,000 years ago scientists somehow they are saying that there was this massive war in which males fought and died. But in my opinion, this is the biblical flood of Noah. So if you think Noah had 3 sons, and there were 4 different women, his wife and the wife of his 4 sons, so that's 1 chromosome line from the father, and different lines for their mothers, directly confirming this Y chromosome bottleneck. But also, if you think that during that time people were aware that there's going to be a mass extinction event and they wanted to preserve humanity, they will try to save more females and less males if they want to repopulate the planet, because one male can make multiple children if there are more females, and one female can't make at the same time multiple children with more males. So this is a logical conclusion. I hope you understand me. I know I'm not expressing myself very well, but with time I will revisit these themes and I will talk more about this, and I think I will get better. So let's go. There was 3,000 years ago, there was another geomagnetic excursion known as Sterno-Etruria, which occurred roughly between 2070 years before present to 3000 years before present. And in my opinion, this directly coincides with the Bronze Age civilization collapse. So during the Bronze Age civilization collapse, there was mass migration, sea people, war, and the sea people were running from something. I think that's severe drought, climate change, no food, and they were trying to find a better place for themselves. And everything was caused by the grand solar minima, increased radiation, and the climate change. So again, this even makes the geomagnetic excursion to occur not every 6,000 years, but every 3,000 years. But perhaps that's because the in-between geomagnetic excursion are smaller and the devastation is not that big. So today we are undergoing a geomagnetic excursion, as you can see from this video. Just look at that acceleration after 1994. Let's see it again. Now this acceleration, it's still going, and the speed is between 30 and 50 km per year, and this speed is close to the Lachamp event geomagnetic excursion, which caused the extinction of the Neanderthals. Now there's also evidence that for the last 200 years the Earth's magnetic field is decreasing, and when this happens, the Earth is more vulnerable to cosmic radiation, which according to some studies triggers volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. So this is the worst case scenario in this geophysical event. According to some researchers like Sam Weatherman or Ben Davidson, an ethical skeptic, and of course Chen Thomas and his book Adam and Eve, A History of Cataclysms, which was written around 1962 or 3, I don't know. They proposed that during this event there is a crustal slip, or the upper part of the mantle slips for 90 to 104 degrees, and this is what caused the massive floods. I have some visual representation of this flood, but it's exaggerated. Just a second. Yes, but this is exaggeration because it comes to displacement of the Earth's crust. The oceans spill over Earth and cause this biblical flood of the flood of Noah, the flood of Utpanishtim in the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh, the flood of Manu in Hinduism, the flood of the Deculion in Greece, etc. So this is the worst case scenario of the event. The best case scenario is that there are more volcanic eruptions, there is global cooling, civilizations collapses, there are of course there is of course mass extinction event, but it's not that big as if the crustal slips, so more people can survive. Okay guys, I have so much more to share about this, but for my first video and talking without a script, I hope this is enough to pique your interest. So be sure to follow me on YouTube and X, because I will continue doing these videos. I will share more evidence. As you can see, I will make a videos of how you can try to survive the upcoming geophysical event, how the elite is preparing, what are they doing, etc. You can see this is the global seed vault with over 1 million crucial seeds for human survival, which is built deep inside a mountain around the Arctic Circle. In a case of a global catastrophic event, they can use these seeds for agriculture and build a civilization again. So I will make a video about this. I will make a video about the 10,000 year clock and why you need to pay attention to this. I will make more videos about the ocean currents collapse. So be sure to follow me if you are interested in my ideas. And I hope you will get through my accent and listen to what I have to say in terms of evidence. Also, I will make more esoteric videos about this cycle and the great year, the 4 yugas, and in which yuga we are currently in. So thank you for watching. You can support my work by subscribing to my Patreon, because I'm not making any money from ads, or by subscribing on my X account. See you in the next video.